Hey guys, this is Steli Efti with Closeo. I want to teach you today how to use the past and the future to close more deals today in the present. So, a lot of times when people talk to prospects and qualify them, they really focus on only one timeline, and that's the present. What are your needs right now? What do you use right now? What kind of functionality do you need? What's your budget at this moment? They focus on figuring out all the needs and all the wants of the prospect in present time to figure out if they can close them in present time. What I want to do is I want to expand your timeline a little bit and your horizon and give you more resources in order to qualify your prospects better and close more of them. One of the timelines that we're going to use is the past. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask questions about their past to learn more about their present and their future. So here's a good example. Ask questions like, hey, when was the last time you guys bought something similar to our service or product? Was that a good experience or a bad one? And if good, why was it good? And if it was bad or a failure, why was it bad? What was the decision-making process like back then? When did you choose if you wanted to buy that or not? How did you compare it with other services? And when it turned out to be a success, what did you think? What do you think was the determining factor for that success? So what you're doing here is you're learning from past buying experiences of your current prospect in order to understand them better and know how they're buying, how they're making decisions, if they have any biases, if there's anybody else in the team that will feel a certain way about buying technology that's similar to the one that they bought back then. If that success, you want to associate with that success and you want to mirror and model that success. And if it was a failure, you want to distance yourself from that failure. You want to understand why it was a failure and frame your solution completely differently so that internally you won't hit on resistance. That's using the past for your present advantage, right? But how do we use the future? It hasn't happened yet. Well, you ask this one simple and powerful question. I've taught this question to many people. We've written about it, and I created videos about this before, so we'll link up to that in this video. But it's a very, very powerful question. And it's simple. The question is, what will it take for you guys to buy from us? What is it going to take to win your business? And once you ask that question, the important thing is not to take the first answer for granted, but actually dig deeper. So when they say, well, I don't know, I'll probably have to, check back with my team and decide if this is good for us or not, you go, awesome. Once you've checked with your team, let's say they liked it. What happens next usually? Are we in business already? Are you buying? Or do we still have to do some work to win your business? Well, yeah, then we would want a second call with all the stakeholders, and then you would decide which is, if you can answer all our questions. Cool. Let's say I can. What usually happens next, right? And then they say, well, next you have to go through procurement or legal. Cool. What happens next? You ask, again and again and again until you arrive at a virtual close, at a time in the future where they have bought. That's going to do a couple of things for you. A, it's going to create a roadmap to the close. It's going to tell you and educate you what are all the steps I'm going to have to take to close this deal, right? There might be red flags that are going to be raised. They are going to, basically put themselves in a mind frame and state of mind of visualizing themselves buying from you, which is a good thing. That's the state of mind you want your prospects to be in, right, if they're truly qualified. And it's going to give you an advantage of spotting opportunities to run processes in parallel. This is specifically important for large deals where things drag on forever. If you know the entire roadmap and the entire buying process of your buyer, you're going to learn and uncover if there are opportunities to run certain processes in parallel. Maybe there's, the procurement department that you can get connected to early on to go through that step of being approved as a vendor in parallel to moving the deal forward. So once you've moved the deal forward, you don't have to spend another month wasted where you have to go through procurement. And maybe the same applies to legal, and there might be many, many other opportunities where you can parallelize the process to get to the close much faster. So next time you qualify somebody, make sure that you don't just stay in the present and utilize the power of the present, but that you learn from the past and that you create the future and create a roadmap to the future that you desire. So you take full advantage of the full spectrum of the experience and the full spectrum of the knowledge that your prospect has to educate you more on how well they qualify and what it will take to close the deal and make them successful. All right, I hope this was useful. You can always get in touch with me by sending me an email, stelly@close.io. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, wherever that button is, to make sure that you don't miss out on any feature, sales tactics, sales hack, and sales strategy and philosophy that we'll share with you. Thanks. Go get them.